So, this story got sent to me from a user on Reddit named Charles from Oakwater, West Virginia. He said he was staying in this old cabin in the Appalachian Mountains. Stressed to me multiple times it was in the middle of nowhere. He said his closest neighbor was like 5 miles down the road. Place didn't have any type of Wi Fi. It was lucky to even have electricity, just woods in every direction. The first few nights, he said were really peaceful. Same old same every time he would go out. But on the fourth night, he was woken up by the sound coming from outside. He described it to me like a whistling sound, but not like a tune. It was more like someone trying to mimic a human whistle, but just off pitch. At first, he thought maybe someone was messing with him. But when he looked out the window, he didn't see anyone. The motion lights on the side of his cabin flickered on a couple times throughout the night. So he kept looking, but still nothing. But this noise was closer. It was almost like it was at his door. He was adamant at saying that he couldn't see anything. But at the same time, it was like all around. He grabbed his flashlight and stepped onto the porch and decided to scan the woods, thinking it might have been some type of crazy animal, like it was a rabbit or something. But that's when he said he saw something. It was tall, maybe 7 feet, but he said it was thin, like unnaturally thin, and it was just standing past the tree line. It wasn't moving, it wasn't doing anything, it was just staring at him. And here's the part that stuck with me. It didn't have a face. Like, the shape of the head was there, but there were no features. No eyes, no mouth. It was just smooth, skin stretched over bone. He described it like it was some type of hairless beast. He backed inside and locked everything, turned out the lights and sat with it against the wall, I guess, until sunrise. But the thing that tried to get in never made a sound again. But by the next morning, he did find tracks in the dirt. No boots, no animal prints, just these long, narrow, bare feet, like someone had been pacing around the cabin all night long. He left immediately, and when he told the story online and posted pictures, a bunch of people in the comments said they'd seen similar things. Not in the same place, but in the same mountain region. Now, nobody knows what these things are, and people keep seeing them. Some say they're spirits, while others say they're an undiscovered species. So, I heard this story from a guy I met on a hiking trip last year. He was a quiet dude, but he looked like he'd seen some stuff, you know what I mean? Anyway, he told me this one night around the fire, and I never forgot it. He said a few years back he went on a solo camping trip near the Virginia side of the Appalachian Mountains. He said it was a real remote spot. There was no trail signs, no cell service. He said there was nothing, just woods. He said the first night everything was normal, peaceful, quiet, kind of like what you'd expect. But the second night, that's when he told me things got really weird. He said he was just about to fall asleep in this tent when he started hearing this weird humming sound. Not like bugs or anything, but like this low, deep vibration. It was almost like a machine was in the woods. Said he felt it more in his bones and his ears. It was moving too, like it was slowly drifting through the trees or something. So he told me he peeks out of his tent and doesn't see anything, just black woods. But this humming is still going on until suddenly, boom, dead silence. There's no wind, no crickets, just nothing. It's just there. And this is the part that gave me the chills. He starts to hear this voice, like real close, like right behind his tent, whispering. It said it told him, "We see you." He didn't move. He told me he just sat there for like an hour holding his knife, didn't even breathe. The next morning, he books it out of there, doesn't even eat, just packs up and goes. And right before he goes back to the trail, he sees this big old oak tree. One that he swears wasn't there before. and carved into the bark, like fresh, clean cut, like it hasn't been there. It just says the word lucky. Now, I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but he seemed pretty freaked out. There was no one else around, no other campers. He said it was just that message in the tree, nothing else. He told me he never went back in those woods again. And honestly, after hearing that story, I don't think I'd go to that spot either.